Judging from the content I put out on the channel, I think that it's pretty evident that I have a relationship with cinema, such as filmmaking and film criticism. But another skill that I'm trying to hone and improve upon is writing, mainly screenwriting. And in this video, I just wanted to share my experience with writing. I've been writing scripts since late of 2018. Now, obviously, I wasn't very good at it, but I started off somewhere. I just didn't know how to write. I just wrote whatever came to my head and whatever sounded cool. I mostly used to write fan fictions of superhero characters, and I, to be honest, still find myself writing those, but we'll get to that later. Soon, I began writing original stories with my own characters, and I naturally gravitated towards dark stories, trying to explore the ugly nature of human beings and what they're capable of. Were they any good? I don't know, but few people began reading it and they liked it, so I continued. And then at one point, I began to feel like I was redoing several plot points and themes in just small different ways. And so I felt like challenging myself. So I began trying out different versions of stories from films that I'm heavily inspired from. For example, I'd written my own version of a gangster movie where I'd taken a lot from Scorsese movies to help me with figuring out my tone and my characters and inner conflict, etc. etc. And after that, I began trying out different genres that I wouldn't have started out trying, ranging from my own version of a commercial masala movie to science fiction, which I am terrible at writing. Of course, I wasn't writing masterpieces or anything, or I wasn't even writing something good, but I was having a lot of fun in the process of writing, of challenging myself and seeing my limitations and strengths. It's a safe space for experimentation, failure, and success, and every time I wrote a new script, I felt like I became a better writer. Finding people who are willing to read my scripts and getting their feedback was extremely vital because when you're judging your own work, there's a high chance of bias because you're the one who wrote it. But I think it's important we have an objective view that's different from ours, that lets us know what works and what doesn't. I found myself repeating several tropes in different stories, and the readers had a certain expectation considering what previous work of mine they had read. So then I had the urge to write something different, something unexpected. And having a critical reader is even better because we need that unapologetic, unbiased opinion to really let us know the flaws in our story because, in the end, it's all towards the benefit of improving our writing. We have to be a little thick skinned in order to become better at the skill. Another thing I learned is to be consistent, which also kind of applies to YouTube, but that has its differences. In writing, I've realized that I have to get the work done. Earlier, I used to write when I felt like it or when I would be in the mood or in the zone to write. But these are just lazy excuses because when I made such excuses, I never really got any work done. I just kept on postponing the writing process and never really made any progress, which is worse actually. And writing is a skill, it can be nurtured through consistent practice. And so, more recently, I've been setting myself goals to complete. For example, making time to write at least 5 pages minimum, because at least I'm getting some work done, no matter how minuscule, and even if those 5 pages are bad, that's alright. The primary objective is to get even a little bit of work done, which is better than not getting any work done, waiting for the mood to write, which, to be honest, you'll never know when it will come. Another lesson that I've learned in writing is that I've always kept my main goal first and foremost to finish the script. I do not care if it's bad, it most probably is, but if I start looking at flaws in my story while writing and keep going back to change things, there's a very low chance the script will actually get over. Instead, what I recommend you do, or at least what works for me personally, is to finish the first draft. Get it done with. Writing the end for every script makes me feel like I've really accomplished something. And after completing that first draft, then we make edits to it by rewriting, asking for feedback and changing the necessary things you need to do in order to improve the script. And I take a long, good break after finishing a script nowadays because it's really an exhausting process. Writing is really fun and it's also really challenging. Half the time I'm terrified of writing because I'm thinking, I'm probably gonna write garbage. And so the break isn't because I need to really, think about the script and plan the next one. It's because I'm just scared and making excuses for not writing. Plus, I have like a never ending list of things to finish that I'm running to finish, ranging from watching movies to making movies to talking about movies to writing about movies, plus also other life responsibilities which are mentally, emotionally, and physically very taxing. I mean, but yeah, I still like doing all of this, and I really want to excel in all of these skills through constant and consistent practice and learning. And after writing for almost 4 years now, I have a somewhat pattern for preparation. I have a set of rules and guidelines to help me out from the YouTube channel Tyler Mowry, and mind you, I am not of the belief that a film needs to have a strict set of rules for it to be good. I follow his guidelines to mainly help me get through something on page when I don't know what to write. But what preparation I do before writing are just small key points to help me out with the basic general idea. But I leave enough space for when I actually have to write the script. Instead of keeping the preparation very rigid, I have small points for which I will expand upon when writing. So a couple things I write about for planning are, the characters, the setting, who is the protagonist, who is the antagonist, their internal and external goals, the internal beliefs of the characters. If I don't have an external plot with me, mapping out the goals of the characters automatically creates a plot, and a forwardly progressing plot fuels the character. So they're all interconnected basically. I also use Dan Harmon's story circle where plot and character goals go hand in hand to have a structurally sound script. Using these points as building blocks, I begin writing the script, and in my own given time, most of the time, I finish it, and the sense of accomplishment I feel is completely unparalleled to literally anything. I give it to people to read sometimes, receive feedback, and note it all down so that I can make changes to it and make it even better. And after all of that, I do it all over again with another script, and the cycle keeps on going. I aspire to become a great writer, and I want to make great movies that are talked about for years to come. And so, in order to reach that level of success, I am nurturing my skills from now on so that one day I will have achieved my goals. So, yeah, this is my experience with writing. I am not a professional, let alone that good of a writer, and I obviously still have so much to learn, but it is an exciting and equally terrifying space to be in. And I just hope you have learned something from this video. I certainly had a wonderful time making it, and I'd love to know your experience with writing if you happen to write. And I can't wait to have a conversation about it with all of you. Thank you for watching. Just, yeah, have a great day.